Hello and good evening, friends. My name is Shantanu Vaidya. I am here with a new video topic. My today's video topic is exception handling in Java. So basically, what is exception handling in Java is nothing but a powerful mechanism which is going to get the current flow of your program stably. It means, in other words, you can say that exception handling is the nothing but the mechanism which is uh, allow us to get your get your program run at without any exception, or if the exception is occur on in runtime error in runnable time, so your code is going to be performed without any exception. This is the nothing but exception handling, and exception handling is having hierarchy which is going to be as follow. The main root class of exception is the main root class of exception is exception. Under the exception, there is a two subclasses, exceptions and errors. So throwable is the main root class. First one, throwable is the main root class of exception handling as well as exceptions in Java. Second one, there is another two subclasses in throwables, that is exception and error. In that two different classes, there is again subclasses are there. So in exception, there is a IO exception, SQL exception, index out of bound exception, array index out of bound, and string index out of bound exceptions. That kind of exceptions are there in exception section. And in error section, out of memory error is there, then virtual memory error is there. This type of error exceptions is present in error classes, error exception class. So in the Java, there is a three type of exceptions, that is checked, unchecked, and errors. So basically, checked exception get inherit the throwable class, which is the root class, and ex- the checked exception is nothing but the exception which is going to checked at runtime and compile time both. So that kind of exception is known as a checked exception, that is IOE exception, IO exception, SQL exceptions, etc. are the checked exceptions. Second one, unchecked exceptions. Unchecked exceptions also inherits the root class, that is throwable, but it again inherits the runnable runtime error exception. Runtime error exception class inherit by unchecked exception. So that is why that kind of exception is not going to check at the compile time, it is going to check at runtime. So that exceptions are known as unchecked exceptions. Arithmetic exceptions, number not found exceptions are the example of unchecked exceptions. And third one, errors are nothing but the are irretrievable and exceptions that occurs error due to index sorry, memory not found, memory out of bound, or memory exceptions are there, memory errors are there. It means virtual memory error is the example of memory sorry, error exceptions. So this is all about today's video topic, that is exceptions and exception handling. Exception handling is nothing but the again, as earlier I told, that exceptions are occur due to some reasons. It means it can be machine reasons, or it can be a systematic errors, or it can be a manual errors. So errors and exceptions can be occur due to some mismatch of code, but with the help of exception handling code, you can ignore, or you can get ahead of that exceptions, and you can reuse your code again and work properly with the exception handling code of your program. So this is all about today's video topic, that is exception handling in Java. Thank you so much.